Welcome, everyone. This is Pilot Fuels, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news on LOTRO and on the and here at LOTRO Players. This week we have with us Terry Adwin,
Hi.
Arendis,
Hey everybody.
and Sanswinda.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And we actually had a patch this week, so we are going to have a look at the patch update 24.2, which includes captain changes as well as a new section of the Veils of Anduin, the Shades in the Swamp, where we have the Gladdenmere. And also a new Scion difficulty system. We have an article giving the highlights of it, as well, of course, we have a link to the patch notes for this update. And I think we've gone over a lot of it already. But just a quick summary, we do have an interlude for the Black Book of Mordor. Which I don't know why they're calling it an interlude instead of a chapter, but whatever. But it is a new section for the Black Book of Mordor, The Shades in the Swamp. And in addition to that, we also wind up going into the new Fellowship. Actually, the new Fellowship instance isn't yet, but we do have a new section for the Gladdenmere, where you have the Gladdenmere and areas surrounding them, as well as the Dwarf Runes, Kidzu Kala, the landscape version of that, as well as also the dailies version of it. And in the next update, there will be a third version of it, which is going to be the quest, which is going to be the instance, the main instance, which is going to have I believe, 1, 2, or 6, I believe, is what it's going to have. This sounds like something similar to what they did in the Iron Mountains, where you had, or at Ered Mithrin, where in the Ered Mithrin you had the same thing happen, where you had a landscape version, where you had the dailies version, and you also, on top of that, had the major instance version. So they're really liking to utilize the space as much as possible for these things. Finally, we have the Scion difficulty system, where you could set some instances at difficulty tiers 4 and 5. And I heard a rumor from someone that some of the 4s and 5s aren't quite as tough as they were hoping them to be.
I can't confirm or deny because I haven't played any yet.
Okay, you haven't played any of them. I believe it was someone who was telling me during the field trip that, yes, Tier 4 felt a little bit easier than Tier 3. So there obviously are going to be needing to tweak that, so they may tweak the Scion difficulty system a little bit when the next update comes out. On top of that, there are also changes to the Captain quest. Now, we've been discussing these for the last couple of weeks, where they have been testing them. They made a few more tweaks, and we'll see whether or not how these are. I know that there's some captains who didn't like it, but I know that most of the complaints I've heard recently were people who misread a Bulwer release note on there rather than something more than anything that they actually had done yet. But anyway, essentially, they're overhauling the captain class, hoping to make the captain more effective soloing and in DPS wise without making them OP. And been really nice if we had a captain who could actually give us their opinion on the matter.
Working on it.
We're working on that, yes. So hopefully we could find out more about that in the near future. I know Emeraldina was playing a I mean, Cinders was playing a captain earlier today. Did you
That's
make it
true, and you
out?
were playing a captain yesterday.
Now I was playing a captain yesterday, but the problem is it was so long since I had played a captain. I'm trying to think, how do I benchmark how things? Probably should have done is if I had time, is actually gone into Udun and see how I was there because,
I don't know how good of a test that would be, because the Udun difficulty has changed so much since it first came out.
well, you do have a point there. Maybe run a skirmish or two on there would be something nice to try on there. See what I don't remember what did we do with those characters.
We ran Thinglehod.
Oh, that's right. We were running thing. That's right because I was trying to. We were running Thinglehot so that you get a little bit of XP there
Yeah, and some
on that
marks and
map.
medallions.
Yeah, so that of course was a tough one too, since we were on different levels and we ran the skirmish in between our levels. But things
Yeah.
went reasonably well there.
And so, or was that Attack at Dawn that we took those two characters into? It was one or the other.
I thought we did them in both.
Maybe we did.
I remember running them both.
I remember running both of them. I just don't remember which characters, because I know we switched characters at one point.
Oh. Hmm. Oh well, I didn't write that down.
That's okay.
But anyway, there have been some changes in there, and hopefully some captains will tell us what they think about the updates, and hopefully without creating a flame war. And for crafting, a new tier of essences called Gladmere Essences are now available. Don't craft essences anyway, so I don't care too much about it, but hopefully the people who are interested in it care about that. And let's see, corrected. Let's see if there's anything else that we haven't discussed before. I think that's pretty much it because it looks like everything else we talked about either last week or the week before. Now, a known issue is due to a translation error with the new software. Some French text displays in English. This mostly includes some, not all, craft items titles, faction titles. We will correct this as quickly as possible. Hopefully, they'll take care of that in 24.2.1, which would be the next update after that. Is there anything that's I skipped by that anyone here wants to bring up? I didn't think so. So let's head into a bowler. Yes, there was actually right after they posted the update, they posted up a bowler update for 24.2.1. And this is what's actually going to have the instance, the depths of Kizukara, which will be the new instance for this area: a flooded dwarf fortress, a mysterious maid, a darkness in the depths. Do you have what it takes to defeat the monster within the mines? And this will have solo, duo, and 6-player modes with 3 tiers of difficulty to challenge fellowships. And of course, they're currently looking for feedback on the first round of that. And that will be coming. I will presume that in a couple of weeks we will be getting that little update. Then we have Beacon issue number 123, where it looks like we're in the Shire for the front cover this time. And in our community spotlight, the Department of Public Security was celebrating their 10th their anniversary today, so let's give a shout out to them. And the Dwarf Scholar is hosting a special stream on Monday, August 12th, filled with LOTRO giveaways. Druid's Fire interviewed executive producer Severlin, community manager Cordovan, and systems designer Linabelle at Gen Con 2019. And the Gleaming Thread is a new outfit titled Battle Ready and was assembled for a Gondorian warrior. And Terry, what do you think about that?
Good question, because I missed it.
Oops.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Yes. And it's a LOTRO outfit for a woman in Gondor. It is in black. So it is done. All these shots are at nighttime. So
Yeah, it looks really good.
Actually, it is not just nighttime, it is under the dawnless day.
ah, you're right. It is the dawnless day. Still dark. Very definitely dark in there. Yes, the cloak of the Citadel Guard, a spirited campaign hood of the Westfold, medium Nazine shoulders, reinforced hauberk of the Abyss, gauntlets of the Causeway, and lesser mark of the West Shores. Everything either default or
Shoes.
died. Oh, shoes of the West. Okay, a lesser mark of the West shoes. Okay, yes. Oh well. At least Terry reads.
What do you do in your spare time? I walk around wearing the shores, of course, on my feet.
Well, I'm so used to a lot of them usually don't. Okay, I know some of them, like the shoulders, had it as the last word, but the word of the item could be anywhere in there. So I was thinking West Shore. Yeah, let's say mark of the West shoes. Okay, never mind. And that's our outfit for the week. So let's head into our kin hall. Deathsbane is an endgame PvE rating kinship that's been rating at the T2C level in every raid since Tower of Orthanc, with a number of server firsts under its belt. We are looking for competitive and dedicated players who are willing to listen and learn. Discord voice chat is required. Right now, we don't have any specific needs for our raid team and are accepting all classes given an assessment of attitude and ability in preparation for the next raid. At the moment, we are running Anvil of Winterstith raid at Tier 2 and Tier 3, with some occasional old raid runs like a Throne of the Abyss Tier 2C. The raid Thursdays to Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, server time. Actually, I guess it's Eastern Daylight Time, probably. The kin as a whole is most active during USA evening hours, 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. server time. If you're interested, apply to our kin site, or you can contact Matteo Mathalas to Matisse Matvier or any of our officers in game. And you could, of course, click the link in the Chronicle or in the beacon for more info. I seem to be crossing over to DDO a lot tonight. And which somehow in all that stuff I missed the name of the server. So let's see. They are in Arkenstone. And that is Deathsbane on Arkenstone. So let's head into our weekly comment. You're walking along a path in the woods when you spot a small pouch in the middle of the walkway. You open the pouch and you find what inside? Anyone?
Well, if it's based around the luck of the stuff I normally find in game, it's either a couple of those stupid jade gemstones that you can sell for a handful of silver, or it's a loot box, so I get nothing because I have loot boxes filtered out.
Oh boy.
I want to know which woods we're in. Because if we're anywhere that looks suspicious, I don't open it for fear of what might be inside. I might stomp on it.
Oh, you mean if it's something such as in the Scuttledells?
Yeah. Or like bendable wood or Mirkwood, where they think there are no spiders and there totally are. You know. Or what are
It's
they calling it
totally
now?
safe.
Last gallon?
Yeah.
Look, the spiders in Mirkwood are not in bags, okay?
Okay, fair. I wanted it to be a pie, but then I realized that it was a small pouch. So
Maybe a muffin or
that's
something.
maybe a muffin.
Well, again, though, that goes back to what woods are we in? Because we all know that the elves don't have snacks, so if we're in
This
any
is
elven
true.
woods, it wouldn't be.
This is
Right?
entirely true. The elves do not have snacks.
Very well. If it's in the bin bowl, it will definitely be a muffin then.
I mean, and if it's like the tutorial woods, it's probably a rusty dagger. So, so it does like 2 damage.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go with either a muffin or a jade gemstone.
The jade gemstone being the more likely in any forest above level, what, 40?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's then head into our fan site news. Join Uger for this episode of Uger's Epic Adventures, and the Token Professor returns with another episode of Mythgard and Middle Earth. Big Ed Mustafa continues with his Guardian. You could click on the link to watch this week's adventures after dark. Redburn returns with another episode of Saturday Journeys of a Wandering Red. French Girl Gaming continues LOTRO Adventures with a French twist. Balville returns and continues on her lore master, and Elda hunts for the secret stone of Erebor. And the road goes ever on with Gravity 42, and you can watch as he continues his adventures there. And our screenshot of the week is by Los Miren, who posted this screenshot. Looks like under the dawnless day.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I'm wondering, actually, and I could be completely wrong, but the way that the shot is set up, it looks like the same type of picture that was submitted that outfit earlier, and I'm trying to figure out if it's the same person or not. If not, it's just me being confused, but it's a good shot either way.
Well, it certainly goes with the cosmetic outfit, that's for sure.
It actually is the same outfit.
Well, there you go. It's a great shot.
On the Steed of the Citadel horse, which, I mean, match your outfit with your horse. Because we can.
Because we can. Yes, it's. So, not only got a mention for the Gleaming Thread article this week, but also for the screenshot of the week. And that concludes our beacon for this week. So let's then head into our store sales. And Terry, anything useful on sale this week?
No, there's really not. Well, yes, there is useful stuff. There's just not. Sorry, I was confused. Not useful coupons. We have like the most useless coupon in existence because it's the combat run speed boost, which nobody ever uses.
It didn't even work for my hunter when I tried to this week.
Right, because you've got your speed toggled on, so even though it's not actually effective in combat, it blocks you from using a combat run speed boost.
Right, like the only time that my speed isn't effective, I can't use the speed that would be effective.
And then the LOTRO bonus days gives us like the most useless bonus ever because it's a 10% loot box Ember emote bonus. Yay. I have loot boxes filtered so I don't open loot boxes. But the sales are good because we got the There and Back Again sale. So it's 20% off the milestone skills, the hurried returning traveler skills, advanced riding traits, and rally horns now through August 15th.
Yay! Get your journeyman riding traits this week.
Yeah.
Get your 5-minute cooldowns.
And 5-minute cooldowns if you need
cooldowns,
them
yes.
or want them. They're totally awesome. Not all my characters have them, though. Because there's unfortunately not an account-wide version. I'd pay a lot more LOTRO points for one.
Yeah. Let's then head into our site news, where we have another edition of Where in Middle-earth is Emeralina? And last week's was at Floodgaled. Oh, Floodgaled. No, it was Floodgaled in the Stone Deans in West Rohan. And no, I didn't come anywhere near for guessing that one.
A couple people commented on the post and were actually spot on, so nice job, yeah.
Nice job, those who did recognize the location. And this week's is, I think, a little bit easier than last week.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
It's a pretty shot regardless.
Yeah, oh yes, a very pretty shot, and one of... Actually, I found out what I was doing this because when I went onto my main in order to have a look at the location on there, I think I had my distance rendering set on high instead of very high or ultra high, and therefore I couldn't see the towers in the background. I go, whoops. That's what's wrong with this picture? Okay. I had that set on too low. Once I did that, I was able to duplicate, except the fact it was night. But she took it at a really nice time of day. Well, actually, it looks like right at dusk. But anyway, that's our screenshot of the week. I mean, not our screenshot of that. I mean, our Where in the Middle-earth is Emeralina, and next week we'll tell you where it is if you haven't guessed it by then. And let's head into our new player question. And Arendis, what's the question this week?
Well, it's a pretty simple question. It's more of a curiosity question than anything else, I guess. I've never actually played a lore master, but I've seen other people do it. But I'm curious, can a lore master have a cosmetic pet and a, I don't know, do you call them landscape pets or their normal DPS or healing pet? Thank you, combat pets.
Yeah.
Can they have that and a cosmetic pet out at the same time?
It depends on the cosmetic pet.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, is it a cosmetic pet that any class can use, or is it one of the lore master only cosmetic pets?
I didn't know lore master only cosmetic pets existed, so we're going to go with available to all people.
Oh, in which case they could use both.
Okay. But
Yeah.
if it's lore master specific, then they can't.
Yeah, that's because the lore master specific pets have been in existence ever since as long as the game's been around, and it was just consuming the lore master's combat pet slot as a result. So a lore master can have two cosmetic pets, so one in the combat slot, that's the lore master specific one, and then one of the regular ones.
Gotcha. Okay. Did not know that. I'm clearly out of the loop.
Well, you weren't around long enough to know when we didn't have cosmetic pets in the game.
Touche.
Anyone else have anything to add with that? Then let's head into our weekend LOTRO. And Arendis, what have you been up to?
Well, the only, I had every intention of playing this week, and the only thing that I successfully managed to do was update. So I stared at the launcher for a while before I had to go. And that's about all I did this week. But next week will be better, I have a feeling. So, Sanswinda, what did you do this week?
Well, after I got mine updated, which that totally took out that play time for me as well that day.
Mm-hmm.
The next time that I was on, I did some questing and deeding in the Barrow Downs, and I found 4 pieces of Barrow Brie.
Oh, good grief.
Well, okay, so the funny part about this is my character, I took my high-level character to help one of Cinder's new low-level characters, and I was trying to find the Barrow Brie for the low-level character, and I found 4 pieces of Barrow Brie before her character found 1. So, yeah, my level 104 Hunter ate 4 pieces of Barrow Brie and survived with no problems. Like, you couldn't even tell it affected her at all. The 1 piece totally downed the level, I don't know, 25 warden I was running with. So, yeah, oops. But definitely earned the unwise title a few times over. And it's like the first time ever I've had that many Barrow Brie drop for a character who wanted it, but didn't want it as badly as the person she was with. So
It would be funny if the titles stacked. Like if you got the unwise and then the super unwise and then like the mega unwise and then the sans what do you do?
right. I would totally eat all of them at the same time for that because the effects stack. And I would see how many I could eat and see if I could kill a level 120 character, because that would be kind of funny. One of the days that I didn't have much else to do. And I skirmished responsibly with Pine Leaf, and got a few more of the, encounters that I need for the deed. And got some more marks and medallions, which I always need. So that was good. And I skirmished responsibly, because I was in charge of starting it up. And I responsibly kept it between the levels of our characters, so that was good. I mean, it was easier on our 120 characters, but I didn't bump it up to like tier 3 or anything, so I did good. It was fun. So, just mowed down some mobs and kept going. And during the field trip, we ran 3 epic battles, and I gained the ability to pick up and place boxed up barricades. You know,
Woohoo.
like the build yourself barricade boxes. I can totally pick them up now.
1 barricade kit.
Right. And I was
Do-it-yourself
ridiculously happy about this. But I really think it's kind of stupid you don't start with this, because I've already built so many barricades for so many people in Rohan before this point that I think
right?
it's kind of ridiculous that I get into the epic battle and they're like, you can't place any barricades, you can't use any traps, you can kind of build this one thing that we already set up on a platform for you, and that's like all you can do, and it will take way too long to like load and crank and fire it, so you may as well just ignore it. And good luck on the side quests, because you can't extinguish anything, you can't repair anything. Like, yeah, I was just starting to like epic battles on my level 120 Hunter, who has now her full 200 points. Like, that was getting fun. Like, you can dismantle, move around, like, actually load things at reasonable speeds. Like, it's fun. But, yeah, starting over with a new character who hasn't run epic battles before was less than thrilling. But I was pretty thrilled by the time I could pick up and place a boxed up barricade and finish that epic battle much easier than we started it. And yeah, I discovered it's kind of fun to run epic battles on a minstrel, because healing comes in handy even when your DPS doesn't seem to be doing anything. So, yeah, that was fun. Finally, what were you up to this week?
Right. On my Craig Hollow Warden, I completed the soloable quest in the Gladmere. The Gladmere has 2 shores. One, it has a south shore and a north shore. The south shore is the solo content, and the north shore is the small fellowship content. So I did everything on the solo side on there, and I also did the interlude on the Black Book. So I got caught up all that was going on there, and that was a very interesting little bit that we had there. So I can't wait till our other group finally gets there. Now, there is one thing, though, I did find to be a bit of a pain, and that is a mob called the Lost Lights. And these Lost Lights, they're those those white lights that like to float around in there.
Oh, the Limrafen thingies.
Yes, those Limrafen. And they behave much like the ones in that instance in Numinous where if it gets too close to you, it spawns a bunch of other mobs.
Ooh. Does it
So
spawn like the armor dudes that are so cool?
yes, those armor dudes. So it either spawns three
Ooh.
elite armor
Ooh. That doesn't sound so fun.
or one elite master
Ouch.
in the solo area.
Ouch.
And
Ouch.
I think that was I submitted a bug report on that one on Bulwer, but I think I submitted that, but it's a little bit late to get because I noticed they acknowledged the bug report on Monday, so obviously after the update got released or something like, or just before the update got released, so it didn't get in there. I'm hoping that they may find some way of handling it because that sounds like a mob that belongs on the North Shore to me. But that's
Right?
just
I mean, I could see spawning like one elite dude, but three?
three.
That's a pain. That's too much.
And now I notice that hunters, they tend to kill the light before it gets close enough to.
Yeah, I'm not worried about my hunter. I'm worried about my champion.
Yeah, if you might be able to survive, depends on how your champion is spec or something like that, I guess. I know my warden, sometimes I've had to just stand there and use every single warden heal I could in order to stay alive on there, but usually I tried to go into assailment stand and then kite the thing back. But we are on this cliff path as you're doing this. So you can imagine that trying to kite something while you're on a cliff path isn't exactly what you call the most safe thing that you can do. And that's assuming, of course, nothing behind you respawns. So I'm hoping that they change it. I know, boy, the thread on this on the forums, of course, is usual to it because all the ones but every single person I know who was saying, no, keep it the way it is, seem to be making the assumption that the South Shore was a fellowship area. No, the North Shore is the fellowship area. The South Shore is the solo area. Every single quest there is marked solo. And of course, the other half will say, get someone else to run it with you.
That's kind of not the point of a solo area.
Right.
Right?
Okay. All right. So we have a little bit of a problem down on that area. Now, usually when I was going through there at least one or two times on there were other people going through at the same time, in which case we just all kill it very, very quickly or handle the spawns together, and that made things able to get through them. So I got through that. I got through all the interlude in there, and after that, I went and found all the treasure troves in the Vales of Anduin. Is it the Vales of Anduin, and that finished up the last of my deeds that I needed for the area, which means that now I have my giant bee.
Congratulations.
Because that was important.
Yeah, of course. Hey, what hobbit doesn't want to go around with a bee that's as large as the hobbit?
I don't know about
say,
you
did
guys,
you
but I
name
want to
it
see
larger
pictures.
than me or something?
You said you wanted to see a picture of that? All right.
Oh, I was just saying, I don't know about you guys, but I want to see pictures of Pine Leaf with a giant bee.
All right.
That'd be good.
I'll have to go and get one as soon as we're finished recording. Then in Friday Night's Fights, we ran Barad Guldur. Now, we had people on different levels in there, and we're a little bit under strength. I think we might have had at most 9 during the run. We had 8 or 9, I believe. and we had 2 that were 105, and the rest were 120. So we decided to run it at 120, and not 120, at 105, so that the lower level people would not be constantly killed. Though they did die on a few occasions in there. And I think that was only my second time where I recall being inside Barad Guldur. I mean, of course, the raid version of Barad Guldur as opposed to the Battle of the Tower, which is within the same tower. Then on Honor, my warden there had found a woman by the name of Nona. I wonder if I'm ever going to see her again. Yeah. So I went into continuing on in and with questing. So I arrived at the town there at Lanuch and am continuing the story there. And hopefully soon I'll get to the dwarves. I haven't quite met with the dwarves yet, but I have a feeling I'll be doing that sometime next week. We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious raid of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast your choice, or even be guest with us for an episode of LOTRO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send one, you can send it to podcast@LotroPlayers.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance @PlayersAlliance, LOTRO Players @LOTRO Players, Arendis @Arendis, Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles, Senswinda @Senswinda, and Terry Edwin @Terry Edwin. The Players Alliance has 2 live shows on Mondays at 7 p.m. USC time. We have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. USC time, we have LOTRO Players News. And you can join us for our shows at LOTROPlayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.